You know, a successful board or a successful committee that is looking at science questions or strategy or science interfacing with policy, science interfacing with decision makers, it all is successful first and foremost by having a great leader of the board and committee. And the characteristics I've seen of leaders who have really been successful in maximizing these boards, or what comes out of these boards and committees, are people who A, are organized, B, who can set an agenda that is focused, C, that encourages a lot of dialogue, a lot of different dialogue, and discourages a dominant voice in that dialogue. And I think finally is a person who really can synthesize very concretely, pulling the different dialogues together in sort of conclusions, synthetic statements that one could then build upon. And I think today, in these last 2 days, you saw an example of a great leader. A lot of people never see the ocean, okay? A lot of people who live in interior lands don't necessarily live on the coast, but a lot of people do live on the coast and never even go to the ocean. In addition, most people who do see the ocean from the surface, okay? And in reality, a sunset over a healthy ocean looks just like a sunset over a very sick ocean. And so we have to be able to, I think, to get stories into the dialogue, stories that people can understand, and being able to relate the ocean to the fundamental well-being of humanity as well as the planet. And so things that I often say when I'm talking to general audiences, the public, is why should you be interested in the ocean? Well, every second breath you take comes from ocean processes. So the oxygen you breathe comes from ocean processes. You can talk about the food you eat, the water you drink. If you look at the water cycle, the engine of fresh water is the ocean. And what's happening in terms of precipitation or raining over the ocean dramatically affects what you can have in your streams and your rivers on land. So I think relating some of these relating sort of the climate picture, the value of the ocean to humans in their everyday lives is the challenge that we have in communicating to the general public. My goal has always been to not be able to convince the person who lives on the coast about the importance of the ocean, but my challenge has always been to convince the farmer in the middle of the United States, i.e. Nebraska or Kansas, that the ocean is important to them.